Hi everybody, welcome back. So, another royal news video, and don't worry, whilst we will be talking about Harry and Meghan, we have got lots of stories with the real royals, and we're going to start off with Prince William, who is currently representing the King out in Rome as he attends Pope Francis's funeral, who sadly passed away on Easter Monday. He joined 55 heads of state, 14 heads of government and 12 reigning monarchs, who attended an open-air service in front of St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. And I have to say, he's looking every inch the statesman that he is. Meanwhile, Harry and Meghan, it turns out, stayed in New York a little bit longer, and I believe that they are using parents' grief as a way to weaponize their campaign of censorship towards social media companies. Now, to some of you that might sound harsh. Please bear with me here. Yes, I believe that a lot more should be done to protect children and young people on the internet when they're being bullied. When I think about trolling and bullying, I think about Harry and Meghan's fan base, where they target people, they target their family members, they even target people's children, they contact people's schools, their places of employment, they put false information out there trying to get people sacked from their jobs. And Harry and Meghan have never once called them out. So forgive me when Harry and Meghan talk about the harms and dangers and perils of social media. I can't take them seriously about it when they have one of the most toxic and nastiest fan bases in the world. With the internet and the fact that all of us tend to carry around the internet now in our pockets with our phones, people get access to people's lives 24/7. But this is where it comes down to parental responsibility, and I'm talking about young children here. Teaching children to have the emotional maturity to deal with it, control how much access that they have to social media, be aware of who they are talking to. You wouldn't grab your children one day and throw them in a room full of strangers, not knowing whether they're men, they're women, what age they are, what mental state that they're in, lock the door and switch the lights off and hope for the best. So why would you allow your children to have unfiltered access to social media? Harry and Meghan's message when it comes to online safety for children is very muddled, because they're not just talking about online bullying, but they're talking about what information the children have access to. Misinformation, harmful content, mindless scrolling, and that to me is a different subject. It's about controlling information on platforms. It's about controlling free speech. And like I said many times, who would be the people that plays God? Who would be the people that decide what information is real information and what is dis or misinformation? People like Harry and Meghan? I'm sorry, I would rather be hit with all of the information and make the decisions myself of what I believe to be true or not true. But Archewell with the Parents Network have a campaign called No Child Lost to Social Media, and they attended a memorial whilst they were in New York called the Lost Screen Memorial. 50 giant smartphones are on display that shows people's loved ones who sadly are no longer here due to various experiences with social media. Each has a recorded message from loved ones telling each person's story. It's heartbreaking. You'd have to be truly soulless to not be upset for these people and all of the people that are affected by the loss of a loved one, especially when they are so young. But it takes a special type of person, I would say a cold-blooded, raging narcissist, to get a member of staff to film you at this event when people are crying and hugging each other in grief, telling their stories, to get people to record you in those moments, to then turn that into a montage and then have music added to it and have it played on your social media account. That is where many people felt incredibly nauseous by what Harry and Meghan are doing. This is Meghan's version of show up and do good. She wants to go to these places to show that she cares, but she needs to make sure that every photograph is taken of her, that there is video footage of her hugging people, showing a moment of kindness to people, so it can be created either into a media story or something she can upload onto her social media. And the installation, do you know, it was only up for 24 hours. Why didn't they have that stay up for a couple of weeks, pay for it to be there so the public can come view it? So it has a deeper impact. The more people that see it, the more people that it hopefully would affect and maybe get them to join their cause. It was taken down in 24 hours. So that to me was no little more than Meghan having a stage set up for her performance to be recorded, and Harry as well. And then the moment that they got the footage and everything that they needed for their social media platforms, and of course for Archewell promotion, then they just took it apart. Now, moving away from them and their latest PR stunt, let's talk about something, or rather someone who will definitely put a smile on your face. Look at how happy and how much joy is on this lady's face as she's got her arms around the future king. I mean, who can blame her? I'm sure many of us would be grinning ear to ear. The Prince of Wales was visiting Mentivity House in South London, who provide mentoring and alternative education to young people. Over 400 young people each week take part in educational school outreach programs, workshops, mentoring and youth clubs, which help create a safe environment for social connection, skills development, emotional growth, a place where they can express themselves and also, it looks like, have a lot of fun in the process. Prince William met with the two founders, Sace Holmes-Lewis and Leon Wright. They told him about their upbringing on the Aylesbury estate and what inspired them to create the organisation. They understood the barriers that face many young people trying to access opportunities and going into employment. After spending time with a few of the younger people who are benefiting from the wonderful activities that the organisation offers, and it also looks like that the competitive prince took part in a few interactive games with the children, he went for a walk outside the community centre. And this is where this fabulous lady dropped what she was doing, ran across the grass for an opportunity to get a selfie and a hug with Prince William. She saw an opportunity, and good for her. I think many of us possibly would have done the same. Now, if you think if that was Prince William's younger brother Harry, he probably would have got his armed security guards to bundle, to rugby tackle this woman to the floor, pin her down as he was then bundled in an SUV and driven away at high speeds for his safety. But thankfully, Prince William is nothing like his younger brother, because once the news got round that the king of selfies was outside the centre, he got mobbed by loads of people. But he didn't complain, he didn't back away, he didn't let security tug him away for his safety. He posed for loads of photographs, for loads of selfies, and even when his security team tried to clear the way for him to finally leave, he told them no, and he ran over to where two little girls were waiting with their parents, and he took the time to pose with them before he left. That is Prince William. That is a people's prince. That was honestly such a lovely moment. I mean, I would have been a bit nervous being mobbed by so many people, but he embraced it. He went with it, and I'm sure that he made so many people happy that day that have all got now incredible photographs of them with the future king. Again, the contrast though, when you go back to what Harry and Meghan are demanding, where they've got a constant ring of security around them, the motorcade must keep the plebs back. It shows that Harry couldn't be further removed from his former life, and he seems more deranged and paranoid now than what he ever did when he was actually part of the royal family. And to be honest with you, he's not missed at all, because thankfully we have got so many wonderful members of our royal family on a whole on the worldwide stage. Take Princess Anne, who on Friday was over in northwest Turkey in Gallipoli, where it was the 110th anniversary of the landings, where thousands of Australian and New Zealand forces forces lost their lives in trying to end the war. She also paid tribute to all the many veterans and those still in service. And the Duchess of Edinburgh, our beautiful Super Sophie, was also paying tribute in the UK at the ANZAC dawn service held at Hyde Park Corner, where she laid a wreath and shed a tear. I think all of these sombre events, we've got Veterans Day, Remembrance Sunday, ANZAC Day, I think they make a lot of people cry. There's a lot of emotions, especially when stories and poems and tributes are often read out, because I understood the importance of remembering all those incredibly brave men and women that gave so much for the freedoms that we all still have today. After the dawn service, Sophie then went on to lay a wreath at the cenotaph in another ceremony, and then continued on to Westminster Abbey, where there was a beautiful Anzac Day service of commemoration and thanksgiving. Despite the sombre occasion of the day, Sophie looked like that she had a lovely morning, albeit a bit emotional at times, but there were quite clearly also a few smiles and laughs along the way, especially with the Dean of Westminster. I can only presume that she asked him if he'd bothered watching With Love, Meghan. Sophie looked absolutely gorgeous. The colour of her coat just shimmered like glitter. I love that blue velvet. It's almost like a blue-black colour. Absolutely stunning. And the way she accessorised it with a tiny little bit of glitter on that trilby hat. And I even loved the grey shoes, and I don't even like grey. Sophie really is a fabulous Duchess, and I'm so happy to see the media take more notice of her. Many people love Sophie because she's such a kind and sweet and classy Duchess. She's an absolute credit to the royal family, and especially when you compare her as a Duchess to the tacky, airheaded one in Montecito, still currently merching her husband's titles and forcing everybody to eat flour sprinkles in her pursuit of joy. I'm sure that Harry was relieved to have a night off of sprinkles as he attended the Legend of Aviation event to honour the brave firefighters and emergency workers who risked their lives in the LA fires. But it would seem that Harry went all of that way for an 11-minute appearance. Harry spent more time putting on his tuxedo than he did actually attending the event. It makes me wonder, why did he bother going if he's not going to be mingling or honouring the guests? It's clear he just went there for his moment in the limelight and left. Stood awkwardly on stage next to Hollywood stars and actual qualified pilots such as Morgan Freeman, Kurt Russell and John Travolta. No wonder he looked awkward. He knows deep down that he's done nothing to earn being on that stage, just like his wife. Speaking of whom, after Meghan, I'm sure, near enough bored the audience to tears or to sleep at her Time 100 interview, Meghan wasn't quite done with getting coverage for herself and of course this event, because she naturally had it all filmed and photographed and turned into a montage for her social media content, which was released round about the same time as A-listers started arriving at the Time 100 red carpet gala event, which it would seem Meghan was not invited to. Many people were quick to suggest this is possibly why she came up with the loose tooth story, so if anybody asked, she could pretend, "Oh no, I'd never want to attend an event like that. I'm too busy playing the tooth fairy." Does anybody really think that Meghan would miss out on an opportunity to go skipping up and down the red carpet, mingling with all of these A-listers? No, my gut feeling is, like all of the other big celebrity events that she doesn't get invited to, her invite was clearly lost in the post. Perhaps Time 100 have a clause with their big, huge red carpet events where they can only permit one narcissistic, carpet-hogging, manipulative diva who lies to destroy other people's lives whilst uplifting herself as some sort of victim at their event. Yeah, hi, Meghan. Yeah, sorry, Meghan. Yeah, that slot was already taken. Okay then, bye-bye. Now, speaking of bye-bye, that's it for me, guys. I will be back with you very soon. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Take care for now. Bye.